March 15th, 3:33 AM, Theatre Neutralis lobby. Hello everyone, Triple S back with some more Ace Investigators Miles Edgeworth. This will be the last part of this game. We have one testimony, some logic, and then presenting some stuff, and we're going to hopefully prove that Albert did it. Well, not even prove, we've proven it. We're going to actually get him to confess, or, somehow get him arrested. So let's just go. Mr. Albert, I request that you testify once more. As if there is anything else for me to testify about. I still have yet to fully prove that it was Mr. Albert who murdered Mr. Kochen. Well, I would like to hear about your movements before the murder occurred. I wonder if you could tell us about what you did here at the Theatre Neutralis? Very well, I suppose I could tell you about that. Because about all I did was watch the Steel Samurai stage show. Elaborating on even that alone is good enough for me. The only way for me to place this man under arrest is to pinpoint the exact location of where the murder took place, for that is the key to this investigation. There's so many humps in this goddamn game, I've only just really noticed that. The Steel Samurai stage show. SSS, love it, nice. I watched from the last row. The stage was well lit, but it was dark out in the audience. I swear I was there in the audience, but it's hard to prove that I suppose. I do remember the contents of the show very well though. Is that proof enough for you? Those moving scenes were seared into this old man's heart. I'll never forget them. So you were in the theatre proper, watching the Steel Samurai stage show, were you? Of course I was. I have a great fondness for the Steel Samurai. Hey, yeah, I was pretty cool up there, wasn't I? You're not the one who was cool, it's the Steel Samurai who was cool. Yeah, and the Steel Samurai's special finishing move today was really something, huh? Huh? Hey, Edgy! Who is she? Who is this super cute girl? She's been standing here this whole time, and only now he notices her. Her name is Kay Faraday, and she's helping me in my investigation, and she's off limits. Sorry I didn't get to introduce myself earlier, but better late than never. Yes, okay, I'm Larry Potts! Silence in the peanut gallery. There's no time for such trivialities at a time like this. As prosecutor, this is the final battle, you got that? I know, this is the end. For that man there. That's the kind of thing I like to hear. I think I'll give trusting you a try, Mr. Prosecutor. Or rather, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh! I leave this critical battle up to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Have no fear, I will finish the job. He said his name. This really is the end game. Hey, I said that. Time has come to expose every last one of Mr. Albert's lies. We're in the end game now, literally right there, he said it. The Steel Samurai's show. So, I do remember. Apparently I've got to press that. I guess it'll give us more info about the actual thing. So, press. Well, I remember the contents of the show as well myself. That's nice. That's nice. Miles Edgeworth, don't allow yourself to be riled up by him at this important juncture. I wasn't planning to let him. Well, if you ask me, I think I'm the biggest Steel Samurai expert around here. Didn't you think the climactic scene of today's show was just totally awesome? Yes, I remember that well, and that spectacular special move. The way you delivered the final blow against the evil magistrate, early summer rain jab. Oh, that scene will live on in my heart forever. Is that how it went? I totally forgot about that. How can you forget your own special moves? That's a special attack that the Steel Samurai uses when he's using the Samurai Spear. Yes, and today was the first time they showed it off, was it not? If I hadn't watched the show, then how could I answer you with the name of the move? I suppose you are correct, but if you could, please elaborate on this point for me. One of the scenes was of his never-before-seen early summer rain jab move. We present, somewhere in this mess of stuff, the Samurai Spear. Because he bent it, Larry couldn't do the early summer rain jab special attack. The special move today was the early summer rain jab. Is that your final answer? You little irritating gnat. Do you think you can trip me up by asking the same question over and over? That was not my intention. Your testimony is more than sufficient. However, I believe it would be wise for you to take a look at this. The Samurai Spear, what about it? This spear actually never made it on stage today. Excuse me? Unfortunately for you, tonight's Still Samurai happened to be a goof of a young man with an abundance of useless hot-bloodedness. Case in point. Having said that, said useless man bent the spear during his rehearsal this evening. Okay, do you remember what the Still Samurai special move was tonight? It was the Still Samurai Sushi Slash. That's too many S's. Correct. Because he couldn't use the spear, a last-minute change was made. Had you really been watching the show, you would have known the move that was used. Quercus Alba. You didn't watch even a single minute of the Still Samurai stage show tonight, did you? Aha! So if he wasn't watching the show tonight, then it opens up the possibility that he was busy killing Mr. Kochan instead. So where were you during the show? I demand an answer now. Just what is so funny? So much laughing. You're so sloppy, and so are your conclusions. I still insist that I watched the show, or most of it in any case. What do you mean by most of it? You see, during the show I left my seat for a spell to visit the bathroom. I assume that was when that dramatic scene was played out on stage. That is the lousiest, lamest excuse I've ever heard in my life, pal. Goddamn Chernobyl memes in this goddamn thing. Just because he got the name of the move wrong, we can't really use that as proof that he didn't watch the show at all. As a fan of the Still Samurai, I wanted to watch the entire show. Honest. As a Still Samurai fan, for someone who wasn't even in his seat for the climax of the show, you have no right to call yourself a Still Samurai fan ever. What? Yeah, who was that just now? Who be I, young lady? Larry, what are you doing interrupting me like that? Edgy, just hold for a second, I beg. You may never accept this old man as a Still Samurai fan, but I totally think he's a Still Sam... What the hell is that word? Samaniac. Maniac. Still Samaniac. What exactly is a Still Samaniac, pal? I believe he meant to say Still Samurai Maniac. Yeah, and trust me, I know a real fan when I see one, because I am the Still Samurai. You are not the Still Samurai. Yeah, I will never acknowledge you as the true Still Samurai. What are you getting so worked about, Mr. Edgeworth? It appears that the real Still Samurai recognises me as a fan. As well as he should, for I am a fan. It's not as though I missed the entire show. It was a most amazing show filled with the spirit of the young and the young at heart. The sarcasm dripping from his long wooden nose couldn't run any thicker. Getting the name of the move wrong only proves that he didn't watch the last scene. What I really need here is something more definitive. Something that links Mr. Alba directly to the murder of Mr. Manny Kochan. You know what, Gramps? You're really something else. I'm honoured to receive such praise from the Still Samurai, but what is it for? Well, I was just wondering how you found out about the early summer rain jab. That move is a bit of a secret that only a small portion of the staff know about. Wait, it was a secret? Larry, wait, what did you just say? Huh? Did I say something stupid again? Did you say that the early summer rain jab was actually a secret? Well, maybe I shouldn't have said secrets. It's more like we only decided on the name of the move right before the start of the show. Right before? Yeah, the stage director was going nuts because we were supposed to debut the move. About 5 minutes before the show, we threw it up on the dressing room's whiteboard. Early summer rain jab. That's kinda how we decided the name of the move. But by that time, I'd already bent the spear, so I guess the whole thing was kinda pointless. All of you Still Samurai actors are the same. The director has my complete sympathy. So basically, because we changed the move to the Sushi Slash, we kinda pretended that the early summer rain jab didn't exist at all. I mean, it'd be bad if someone found out we'd changed the move, so we made it a secret. So basically, a gag order was issued for publicity's sake. Almost makes the early summer rain jab sound like a lost art. Yeah, which is why I think most of the staff haven't even heard of the move. Hold those lips of yours still. What the heck, old man? I've done nothing but listen, and from what I can tell, it's all very related to the case. It's also very tedious and a pointless exercise in wasting time, much like a kid's show. Mr. Alba, I believe the one who should be quiet now is you. So shut your face. How dare you? I suspect that you've already noticed exactly what the very severe implications are in this man's testimony. So now you're trying to bully me, huh? There are no implications to be read into a behind-the-scenes story of a kid's show. Don't even think about trying to slither your way out of this, Quercus Alba. You were the one who said it yourself that the name of the move was Early Summer Rain Jab, but that name was only decided upon right before the show was about to start. So, just what are you driving at? That the name of the move you told us was never used in the show or said aloud. Now then, would you care to tell us about how you found out the name of that move? Because I can only think of one way you could have known. Quercus Alba, this is the only way you could have known the name of the special move. You saw it, you asked about it, you thought it up. You saw it written on that whiteboard. You knew the name because you saw it. You saw it on the dressing room's whiteboard. The staff members who knew were keeping it a secret. So you couldn't have simply gone up to a staff member and asked. Which means that the only other option left is that you saw it on the whiteboard. So that means that Mr. Alba was in the waiting room at some point, right? What's the big deal, sir? I don't see what this means. There is another piece of evidence that has a great deal to do with the dressing room, so we can't afford to let this slide. This is related to both the dressing room and to Mr. Cochin's murder, and that would be the pushcart. The pushcart that was used to move the body was right there in the dressing room. During the show, the pushcart are waiting its turn to be pushed on stage in the dressing room. And it was finally pushed there along with the Iron Infant in the last scene of the show. And then right after the show ended, it went into Alabast along with the Still Samurai. Which means that the only time the killer could have placed the body inside the pushcart was... the pushcart was in the dressing room backstage. So basically the killer has to be someone who visited the dressing room during the show. Precisely. Oh, but wait, what if, and this is just a what if the murder didn't take place in the dressing room? What do you mean, Kay? I have to admit, she brings up a valid possibility. During the show, the dressing room was supposed to be devoid of people. Anyone going into the private dressing room would stand out like a sore thumb. Despite that, the killer still managed to move the body with the pushcart. Correct, and it is because of the setup of the theatre's dressing room that it would be the ideal location for the murder of Manny Cochin. Quercus Alba, during the show you went down to the dressing room, and I want to know why. Yes. Yes, I was there. I went into the dressing room. I knew it. I'm placing you under arrest right now, pal. You got that? Arrest! Not so fast. What is it now? Don't I deserve a chance to explain myself? Explain? What is there to explain? I believe I told you earlier that I went to the bathroom. Well, I got lost when I did. I went to ask for directions, but when I opened the dressing room door, no one was inside. And that's when I saw the name of the move on the whiteboard. You punk, still trying to get out of this? Do you really think you can get away at this point? Miss Edgeworth, is there anything you can do to stop him? I don't have enough evidence on hand to do anything. Don't have the airtight evidence I need to put this man away for good. But if that's what I need, then perhaps... Agent Lang, I believe an investigation of the dressing room in question is in order. It's possible that we may find new evidence there. Yeah, if Mr. Edgeworth pokes around in there, I'm sure he'll find some new facts, pal. No, and if we use Little Thief, we may even learn something from a recreation. God damn it. We don't need to do any of that. What? Wolfie? How could you? I'm not saying this to be mean. It's just that we've already searched there. My men really are something else. And they found nothing? There's only one thing I can say to you, sis, and it's that they found nothing. That's it. Why am I getting the vision of Life... What is it? Life of Brian, Monty Python, where all those soldiers running to the room, whether it's like, you know, the... What is it? People's Front of Judea, or whichever way around it is, Judeans People's Front. They all run into the room to try and find them, and they don't find anything, and they're all hidden poorly. Why did I just get that vision of all his men in black running to the room where there's loads of evidence around and they find nothing? That's all I'm imagining right now. I guess you're right. If they had found something, they would have reported it to us. They couldn't find anything because there was nothing there to find! And if there is no info to feed into Little Thief, then I can't do much to help either. Is this the end? How many times has it been the end? Murder took place in this theatre, which is not protected under extraterritorial rights. And the fact that it was Mr. Alba himself who committed the murder... If I can't prove both statements to be true, Mr. Alba walks away a free man. Is there no other course of action left to us? It would appear that your hand of cards has turned out to be a bust. And if you'll excuse me, because of you people I missed my flight. I must make haste to arrange for a new one. Oh god, who said it this time? Was it Oldbag? That'd be something. Yeah, who was it this time? Called it! Called it! Called it! Called it! I'm calling things so much this time. Hold it right there, you whippersnappers. Ah, first Larry and now you. What is it with that scary mobster-like scowl on your face, Edgy Poo? Don't treat me like I'm some sort of nuisance. I've been meaning to say this, but all of you keep talking about things I don't get at all. You're all leaving this lady in the sad, depressing, lonely dust that I'm about to cry in. Why did you have to speak up right at this instant? But you know what, Edgy Poo? Cheer up! Because I'm about to give you the most wonderful thing. The most wonderful thing? From you. It's so super special that I couldn't give it away to just anyone, you know? My special present of love to my sweet Edgy Poo. Are you ready? Is this. It's a box of those samurai dogs, right? Yep. Oh, Edgy Poo! Here, go on and eat one and you'll feel as right as rain. Are we through here? Why did everyone get so quiet all of a sudden? Edgy Poo! Tell me you understand the depths of this lady's love for you. I'm not one to hand out snacks willy-nilly, you know. No, sir. The thought occurred to me that maybe it would be good if I fed you... Oh god, here she goes, she's off again. I forgot that she did this. Hungry, experience, meal, ingredient... Miss Edgeworth, can't you do anything about her? There is no power on earth that can force that woman into silence. Ooh! I'm so sick and tired of it. All you people do is look down on me. Even this box of samurai dogs played me for a fool. It had a special design on its fan, like the Japanese flag, so I thought it was special. But when I ate one, it tasted just like all the rest. Oh, it made me so mad. Wait, a special box with the Hinomaru-like fan on it? I never heard of such a piece of merchandise existing before. However, there it is. The red rising sun of this fan is filled in. Is it possible? Could it be? After the show, the samurai dogs were piled up on the dressing room floor. However, there is no such thing as a rising sun dog. Rising sun dogs taken from the dressing room, the fan's rising sun is filled in for some reason. Logic added. This contradiction of facts between something that should not exist and yet does. The rays from this rising sun may be just what we needed to point us in the right direction. A present? Studio bigwigs basically told us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi, pardon me. I had to pile them all into the pushcart just to move them all. Samurai dogs, bushes of samurai dogs just staying in the pushcart. Oh, logic added, so we're taken out of the pushcart. I believe you understand what this means, correct? Yuka was the coach at this theatre and then placed his body inside the pushcart. Body in the pushcart, the killer placed Coachin's body into the pushcart in the dressing room, logic added. And then you force a still samurai to winsomely move the body for you. It's time to piece the final pieces of this logic puzzle together. No matter how fragile or small the connections may be, once we've found them all, the way to the truth will be revealed. Logic time. Okay, so, samurai dogs with the body in the pushcart because they were taken out of the pushcart to put the body in. The killer used the pushcart to transport the body, which means that they had to remove the samurai dogs from within first. Oh, are they going to say that thing is filled in with his blood or something? Therefore the samurai dogs that were piled upon the dressing room floor were most likely taken out of the pushcart by the killer. Samurai dogs were removed, dogs were put on dressing room floor by the killer to make room for the body. And then these last two connect together. Rising Sun dogs and Samurai dogs were removed. That which should not exist. This box of Samurai dogs with a Hinomaru on it. I can't. If this Red Rising Sun was filled in when the killer was busy removing dogs from the pushcart, then it's proof that the murder took place in the dressing room. As long as this red substance turns out to be what I believe it is blood. I knew it. Wendy, you're back. I thank you. What you have given to me is truly something very special. Achoo-poo! Miss Edgeworth, are you sure you're feeling okay, sir? Mr. Alba, as I suspected, you killed Mr. Cochin in the dressing room. How many times must I listen to you repeat yourself? Haven't you figured it out yet? Your words are meaningless, worthless and powerless. The only way I'm going to continue to cooperate is with some definitive evidence. That arrogance, that self-confidence. You believe that you've erased every piece of evidence that could incriminate you. However, there remains one piece here and it is what will put you away for good. Ha! You're bluffing. Oh, hey Mr. Prosecutor. Sounds like you finally found them. I thought you were calling Miss Edgeworth now. You finally found the fangs we need to go after this guy's jugular. So tell us, what about that box of Samurai dogs is going to put the old man away? The trace evidence that will bring him down? Why, it's here, of course. Okay. Zoom. Is it this that I'm supposed to be looking at here? This box of Samurai dogs with a rising sun fan on it, this should never have existed. So I want you all to take a good look at this red spot. It's a single drop of blood. Huh? What? Blood, you say? Agent Lang, I'd like this blood analysed post-haste. I've got to admit, I'm a bit surprised. I can't believe we found blood in a place like this. Hey you, get this down to the lab pronto. But why was there blood on that box to begin with? If we think about the flow of the crime, I think the reason will become obvious. Larry, you said that you transported the Samurai dogs with the pushcart, correct? Oh yeah, you have a great memory, Edgy. That pushcart was a bit too big for my son, you know what I mean? So to make sure everyone could see him, I had to pile some stuff in. I figured the Samurai dogs were there, so I used them to fill up the cart. If what Larry says is true, then what were the boxes doing on the floor? I see, the killer took them out in order to place the body in the pushcart. Exactly, and that's when I believe the victim's blood found its way onto that box. When my men investigated that room, not a single box of Samurai dogs was in there. Because embassy staff members had already confiscated them. Yep, no doubt to hide the evidence of the murder. It's a good thing Miss Oldbag managed to steal that pump box before they got to them, huh? Looks like Miss Oldbag also managed to put this great thief to shame. What a scandalous way of putting that. I didn't steal, I received it from myself. Gracious Albert, I'd say this was one very fatal oversight on your part. I couldn't read that correctly then. Sorry to rain on your little love fest, however. How? How can he be so self-confident in a no-win situation for him like this? Even if that blood turns out to belong to Mr. Cochin, then what? So, Miss Edgeworth, it sounds like he's not ready to call it quits yet, huh? The sole piece of evidence that was left at the scene of the crime, that alone has shed light on a new fact. At the very least, we now have proof that the murder occurred in the dressing room. And? You say that like it means something. Huh? Excuse me, sirs. Wouldn't it be great if it was his blood? Reports. What were the results of the analysis? Sir, the analysis came back and confirmed that the red substance is blood. I knew it. With this, Croesus Alba. Miss Edgeworth, I wonder if you might humour my question. Your question? The one from before, have you forgotten? Even if that is Mr. Cochin's blood, what difference would it make? Like I already told you, it proves that the crime scene was that dressing room. But it doesn't prove that I am your killer, does it? Ah, that's... He has a very good point. The blood on that box doesn't prove that Mr. Alba is the killer. Then, this evidence... it's meaningless. That can't be. We were so close, sir. I want to smack that smug look off his face. Come on, there's got to be something we can do. finally found a solid piece of evidence. There must be something I can expose with it. I can't think of a single thing! If you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way. Oh, who's it this time? Hello? Who was that? It's too late. I won't allow anyone to stop me now. It wasn't me, pal. And it wasn't me this time either. It wasn't me neither. It was me! Why did you... Because I haven't finished reporting everything to you yet, sir. There's more? What? Hurry up and spit it out. Yes, sir. That blood I mentioned. It's not of the same blood type as the victim's blood. Are you kidding me? No. What? No. What? What? What do you mean it's not the same type? You mean it's not the victim's blood? If it isn't his, then who the hell's is it? I don't know, sir. All I know is that it's not the same blood type as the victim, sir. What should we do now, Miss Edgeworth? I've no idea what's what anymore. Neither do I. My one amusing turn of events. That blood drop proved something to be true, alright. Namely, my words. And which one of your words would that be? The ones where I said that your words are meaningless, worthless and powerless. That blood has nothing to do with the murder investigation whatsoever. Need I remind you that the blood got onto that box long before it entered my embassy? What sort of nonsense? Yeah, it's blood, pal. There's no way it's not related to the murder. So you would like to believe. What if someone preparing the samurai dogs had a small nosebleed? What then? I guess that's possible. Damn it! I've been wasting our time on a red herring. The blood doesn't belong to anyone connected to the case. That should be clue enough. Croesus Alba, you bastard! Silence! Don't you ever address me with such a filthy word again. I've waited enough time here with you, and you have your answers. Now let me through. Alba, it doesn't matter where you run off to, you'll never escape me. Someday I'll have the satisfaction of sinking my fangs into you, you'll see. And all of Interpol will be behind me, working to see to it that that day comes. Do you know what your words sound like to me? They sound like the whinings of a pathetic loser of a mutt. Oh! Is this really the extent of all that we can do? Is the blood really from someone completely unrelated to the case? Or is there another possibility? Someone else other than the victim? Just when I thought I had him backed into a corner, it is I who has been backed into one. In a situation like this, what would that man do? Oh yeah! Blood. 'Cause, yeah, I did freaking call it. What would he who can turn any desperate situation around do? Turn it around. Turnabout. Phoenix Wright. That's what he's talking about. That's it. I must turn my way of thinking around. It's not whose blood is this. It's whose blood could get onto the box like this, and if I think about it that way, if the blood got onto the box when the body was being placed into the pushcart, then the owner of said blood must have been in the dressing room at the time. And there is only one person that could be. Well, I must praise you for trying so hard. It's because of you kids that I was removed from centre stage. I would be forced to live out the rest of my life in the shadows, unfortunately. But it's not a total loss, as the underworld will allow me more freedom than you'll ever know. Freedom like what the raven feels as it flies through the dark night sky. You can't lay a finger on me, not now or ever. The arm of the law is powerless before me. And here we come to the final part. Powerless, is it? I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. What do you mean? Allow me to describe you in one word. Pitiful. Pitiful? How so? Croesus Alba, your wings were clipped long ago. And for someone who is trying to fly away on them without noticing that fact, pitiful is the perfect word to describe you. Ha! Mere words. What do you mean by his wings are clipped, Miss Edgeworth? Just what you think it means, Kay. We'd already caught him in our trap a while back. With an incredibly powerful definitive piece of evidence. Hey! Earth to Mr. Prosecutor, care to speak in English? What are you talking about? What piece of evidence? The piece I speak of is, of course, this drop of blood. But we know that it's not from the victim. I don't see how it remains relevant to the case at all. It's von Karma. I believe that is exactly why it's very important to the case. And the part that is the most important is the fact that it's not the victim's blood. You're looking a little pale. Good, then I believe you are already aware of what I mean. Then you know who the blood belongs to. Of course I do. This piece of evidence is the irrefutable proof that will stop the killer in his tracks. The blood that soiled this box of samurai dogs belongs to this person. As I called, it belongs to wherever the hell he is. As I said, it wouldn't it be great if the blood belonged to him? It does. The blood of the rising sun on this box belongs to you, Quercus Alba. What? Why is his blood on the box of samurai dogs? He's not even a victim. The blood fell onto the box when Mr. Kochen's body was being loaded into this pushcart. At that time, the only two people in the dressing room were the victim and his killer. So that's what you mean. If the blood doesn't belong to the victim, then there is only one other person it could belong to. Yep, and that person is the murderer himself. That's the only logical conclusion. Mr. Kochen was the one who was stabbed, sir. Or would Mr. Alba have been the one who was bleeding? What if during the murder Mr. Kochen had fought back? You mean if before Mr. Alba could kill him, Mr. Kochen managed to wound Mr. Alba? Yep, and I believe we have a piece of evidence that proves that he was bleeding then. Piece of evidence that shows Mr. Alba was probably bleeding at that time. Where is it? His wound that he showed us. Mr. Alba, you bear on your body a great wound. That was from when the Master Second attacked me with a pair of scissors. Yeah, and that happened way after he was in the dressing room. Ah, but is that what really happened? You can manufacture a weapon by smearing blood on it, so I can't just accept that as fact. Shall we try a test, Mr. Alba, and see if the shape of your wound matches the scissors? You really are something else, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't let a single thing slip you by, no matter how insignificant the possibility. You want to talk, Mr. Alba? You've managed to give the law the slip for 10 years as the smuggling ring's leader. No matter the danger, you can hide every last ounce of fear and anxiety from everyone. You truly are a one-of-a-kind criminal. I'm the master of my fear. However, to think that a person such as you could miss such a large thing. You believe I've overlooked something? You said that my wound was caused by Mr. Kochen, and that it was caused here in one of the theatre's dressing rooms, correct? Yes, that is correct. I'd like to point out that it's simply not possible. My wound is a stab wound, and one that could only have come from a blade. I wonder where you will propose that such a weapon came from. This theatre was packed with security guards. It would have been impossible for anyone to come into this area with a weapon of any sort. Just as Mr. Alba was able to bring in the alabastrian knife and a bouquet, there must have been some other way to sneak in a weapon of some sort. But as long as you can't prove what the other way is, all your talk about Mr. Kochen stabbing me is pure nonsense. So if that other way does exist, you'd better hurry and tell me now. Oh, it does exist, with pleasure. Wait, what? This piece of evidence shows us how Mr. Kochen brought a weapon into this theatre. The one, the only, Yatagarasu's key. Among law enforcement, this piece is known as the Yatagarasu's key. That key! That's the key that my father stole from here 7 years ago. And it is very unique in that it is both a key and a knife. Meaning that under the guise of a key, it could have been easily brought into the theatre. No! You couldn't dispose of the knife that stabbed you. Therefore you wiped off the blood and placed it back into Mr. Kochen's pockets. After all, the key itself opens the safe in his office. And inside that safe, there was a document about Cadopian paper signed by Mr. Kochen, in order to make it look like Mr. Kochen died as the leader of the smuggling ring. You had to make it so that the police were the ones who opened that office safe. All that hard work to save yourself only served to destroy you in the end. Shall we try matching this knife's blade with your wound, Mr. Quercus Alba? We have got him. That is it. That is the last thing we have to present. We're done. And that is what some may call the coup de grace. Coup de grace. Coup de grace? Either one. Impossible. You can't take me down. Swine. All of you. Especially Manny Kochen. This is all because of that man's betrayal. He sought to steal control of the smuggling ring from me by removing me as ambassador. Which is why he deserved to die while bearing the guilt for all of my crimes for me. That's why I sent out the Yatagarasu's card, and how this incident was born. Manny was supposed to be the smuggling ring's leader who was killed by the Yatagarasu. But I had yet another reason, yet another story that was supposed to play out. Manny's death was supposed to bring everything to a close. And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling prosecutors. What the hell is this, Scooby-Doo now? Mr. Alba, I'm afraid there is one more question I forgot to ask. This country's or Alabast's, which country's court would you like to face? Oh, this country's or Alabast's. Either way, it's game over for you. Edgeworth! Just die already. Yeah, there he goes. Oh, no. Oh my god. He's gone blind. He really is an old man. March 17th, 11:21 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Woo! This is it, the big day. It's Mr. Alba's trial today. And next week he's scheduled a standing trial in his own country at Alabast. Francisca is heading that one. I suspect she'll be serving a full course of whiplashes at it. Having to face Miss Von Camera in court right after facing you, sir. I don't even want to think of what that would be like. I got a glimpse of Mr. Alba as he was being escorted into the courthouse. Boy, he looked about as glum as I do the day before I get my monthly paycheck. You know, I've been thinking. That flight attendant and even Mr. Portsman were all Mr. Alba's secret agents. Correct. That smuggling ring was the common thread between all of the incidents. Tammy Meal was to provide support during the smuggling ops using her job as an attendant. Mr. Portsman was to manipulate trials related to the ring to end in their favour. Ah, I Fly Airlines and even the prosecutor's office. No one was safe from the smuggling ring, has there? I suspect there are even more members of this ring spread throughout the world. Yeah, it sounds like such a big op that I can't even begin to imagine what it's like. What is it, detective? Ah, nothing, it's just... Well, come to think of it, Mr. Ernest Amano's trial is also scheduled for later today, sir. I'm aware of that. Mr. Amano has been working with the smuggling ring now for over 10 years. He used the Amano Group's various connections worldwide to assist the ring. All of that has come to an end as his conglomerate is now undergoing harsh scrutiny. I owe Mr. Amano a debt of gratitude, but he must pay his debt to society. Well, with the arrests of both Mr. Alba and Mr. Amano, I guess that about wraps up the KGA incident as well, huh? I suppose so. The real killer in the KGA incident 10 years ago was Manny Kochen. And 7 years ago, the killer in the second KGA incident was MacLeod. Those two facts are the unshakable truth, however. It seems that a lot of effort was put into hiding these and other truths from us. And I will expose it all at the trials today. You're solving cases left and right today, aren't you, sir? Cease you indeed, man. Perhaps now these two brave souls who try to make the truth known can rest in peace. By the way, I received some gifts from Ambassador Paleno. Shrimp, crab, beef. I don't need any of these, so I'm giving them to you. What? Seriously, sir? Wait, actually I don't think I want them anymore. The way you're holding them, don't tell me they're just coupons, sir. Detective Gumshoe, have you not read the paper recently? Ever since the two countries became Cadopia again, its economy has changed. Really? and it seems that Ambassador Pelena has reaped a few benefits of his own from it. He has been announced as the official ambassador of the newly reunified Cadopia. Ah, but what a pity. Even though every item he sent is a treasure, you don't seem all that interested. Well, if you don't want them, I can give them to my lovely assistant Kay. Wait, that's not what I said. Wait, what? I'm so confused. It had... Oh, he's at... wait a minute. Wait, that's not what I said. So, Miss Edgeworth, please let me have them, sir. Actually, come to think of it, where is Kay? How come she's still not here? Wait, what? I swear I had question marks. Am I going insane? I'm so confused. Okay. Let's just... Hey, you gotta be more alert than that. Yeek! I can't believe you didn't notice. I was even mimicking Miss Edgeworth's voice for a bit. There we go. God damn it. I can't even say I called that one. I got completely confused by that. I totally didn't notice you. I realised that voice was you. Neither did I. It confused the hell out of me. Langzi says ferocious love blooms with each new spring. Agent Lang, a pleasant surprise to see you here. It's been a long time since I set foot in a courthouse, but I wasn't going to miss. Watching the guy who screwed up my country finally get what's coming to him. Well, that and something else. I want to see you in action in court. Is that so, Agent Lang? We flushed out all the counterfeit bills, so Zeng Fi is finally at peace again. And it's all thanks to you. So I just want to say thanks. Wow, I never thought I'd see the day old Wolfie says thanks to Miss Edgeworth. I should be the one thanking you, Agent Lang. If you hadn't negated Mr. Alba's extraterritorial rights, I would not have been able to bring him to trial. I believe the victory belongs to the both of us in this case. Tsk, a shared victory, huh? Look, don't get me wrong. I'll still never forgive you, prosecutors. I have zero interest in that truth thing you talk about in court. I've always done things my own way, and that's not about to change. You got that? Ah, I see. Well, I believe you should follow your own creed when you do your job. Yeah, and if there's ever someone your precious truth can't catch, feel free to sit around and cry about it all you want. As for me, I'm going to get that person no matter what. Heh, alright. It's about time for the trial to start. I will see you later. I'll be watching your performance from the gallery. I'm looking forward to this. I prepared a whole ton of ticker tape for today's victory, sir. I'll help follow some around when Mr. Edgeworth wins. Hope you've got enough, because I'm going to go call my men up as well. A modest amount of ticker tape goes a long way. The scene shifts to the courtroom and the final act of this long tale begins. The legend of the great thief Yetagarasu is a story of those who chose to dedicate their lives to the pursuit of the truth. Prosecutors are those who seek a guilty verdict for the defendants they meet, and to that end you have no choice but to win by any means necessary. That creed was forced on me since I was very young. However, I no longer think that is all we prosecutors are, and that is because... Even though I've only been away from the courtroom for a short time, I feel as though it's been a lifetime since I've set foot in one. And today, more than any other, I feel the fight within me rising. There we go! Oh, I was hoping we could maybe see the judge. Like the judge would, you know, he could say hello to the judge. But, nah. I'm really in Mr. Edgeworth's debt for the other day. Thanks to him, I'm still free to serve with the friendly blue skies. Oh, so about my suitcases. I've been selling them on the internet, and they've become a real sensation. Thanks to the praise the art world has lavished on my work as being truly postmodern. The airline has chosen me to design their new line of iFly jumbo jets. Just think, someday you'll be able to take a ride in my pink-walled, yellow-seated jet. Oh god. This does make me think in the latest Ace Attorney game Spirit of Justice, a suitcase was one of the evidences. It would have been good to see the design for the suitcases from this game, but it didn't happen. I was so annoyed. Would have been cool though to have that connection. Edgeworth! Ah, that rudeness of a rude man. Because of him, my time and money is wasted. But more important Tia, I received the most fantastic treasure recently. The pyramidal statue of the Principality of Cadopia. It weighs a bit light in my hands, but the ambassador Polino was most generous. Take that, you got the fake statue, my friend. Who's next? Ooh, fancy? Fancy! We finally caught Agent Hicks's killer, and I was able to witness Mr. Alba's teary eyes. It feels good to finally bring everything to a close. I received another offer from Interpol to work another case in cooperation with them. However, the Cadopian courts await. Yeah, Cadopia's air is supposed to be very fresh, so my whip should find new vigour there. Go get him, girl. Who's next? Okay. Ah, Meekins. This little patrolman has been fine as of today, sir. Oh. I thought I was safe since we found the gun I had dropped. But I hadn't noticed that I had dropped my police badge too. I guess what really broke the camel's back was that I couldn't find my badge. My little life has suddenly tipped into a dark black hole, sir. Tripped. I think I'll go to the courthouse and file a complaint with Ruffles, man. Okay. You do that, Meekins. You do that. Ah. That it? Oh, no. Emma! I was actually hoping to talk Mr. Edgeworth a bit more than I did. But I've got to get going and return to Europe. I've still got a long way to go and a lot of stuff to study there. Next time I help Mr. Edgeworth on a case, I'm going to do it as a real forensic scientist. I'm sure he's going to need all the help I can give him, scientifically. We've still got to hear from Allbag and Larry and stuff, right? Oh. Her. Because the kidnapping was staged, I was let off easy. That's good. But I won't be going outside much anytime soon, but that's really okay. The only prisoner I'm forever trapped in is the cage of love. The guard down at the detention centre. Well, he's on guard duty. When he's on guard duty, he has such a cold look in his eyes, just like that prosecutor. Oh god. Stop it, Lauren. When will you ever learn to stop being a prisoner of love? She falls easy. Gumshoe. Judgy. Ah, Judge. It appears there are all sorts of drama that takes place outside of the courtroom. Since we judges are here day in and day out, I've only heard a few rumours, but apparently Mr. Edgeworth teamed up with a thief and became a detective. Maybe I should team up with a bailiff and try to become a lawyer or something. That'd be a sight to see. Ooh, Maggie! Ooh, I barely escaped death yet again. Yeah, but boy were we lucky to have Mr. Edgeworth help us out, huh? Yeah, but because I lost the key, I got fired from my security guard job. Oh god damn it, everyone's getting fired. Don't let it get you down, Maggie. You still got me. You're right, sir. I won't be sad. I'm going to pick myself up and get through this. I wonder what my next job should be. Ooh, this is actually kind of fun. She's like the female version of Larry, having so many different kinds of jobs throughout the courses of the games. Ooh, Polino? Why not come to Cadopia for your summer vacation? We have coupons aplenty. Right now, our embassy is proud to present our Let's Investigate a Murder show. Although recreating that particular case has created a few small fires of its own. Then we had a few problems with the fire marshals, but the next event will be great. It will be an attraction entitled Capture the Yatagarasu. Of course I hope to enlist Kay's help in creating our latest attraction. With Little Thief, no doubt. Ah. There he is. I can't believe that Mindy ditched me and went to Japan. But it's okay, because that's how I met Miharu. We're planning to go to Paris soon and start a business. We're going to sell blue ocean dogs. They'll sell like cake hot dogs for sure. A blue hot dog in a blue bun. I guarantee it'll turn your tongue and your face blue. I know I'm not really the type to work a lot, or at all really, but also I noticed that I really haven't seen the guy in the blue suit at all recently. Well, what's up? Well, the next time we meet, I'm going to make him eat one of my dogs. Are you on about Phoenix? Like you don't know his name? Larry? What? That just makes no sense if he's actually talking about Phoenix Wright, because today I gave testimony in court today as a member of the Yatagarasu. Okay, today. You, Mr. Bad, you look well, all things considered. By the way, have you noticed that elements within the ring have begun moving? They're probably fighting over who should succeed, over who should be the next boss. Although, to be honest, I wish I could forget I'd ever heard of that smuggling ring. Langzi says, thoroughly bite the poisonous snake from head to tail. No one runs afoul of the law and escapes this wolf's fangs. I'll get you all yet. Ah, youth. When did I become so old, I wonder? I've begun noticing the grey hairs in my beard more. I'm thinking of retiring my mirror. Ah. Yeah, there she is. She's gonna go on a rant again. How was the Pink Princess and the Pink Badger all in the span of 2 days? Talk about busy. But it's alright, because I got a letter from my beloved Edgipoo. Please take care of your hip, and when you wish to speak, first take off your headpiece. What does he mean by that last statement? Here she goes. There she goes. Pink Princess, Justice, Maiden, stylish hat, costume, terrible idea. Yeah, good, cut her off. Best idea yet. Oh, here we go. Post-credits cutscene. March 17th, 4:33 PM, High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. Whoop! I feel so much better now that the trial's over. And as always, your legal prowess was top-notch, sir. Yeah, nothing beat the look on Mr. Albert's face when you revealed the ring's secrets. I was amazed. You're like a totally different person when you step into a courtroom. Mr. Edgeworth is always 10 times fiercer in court. Based on the information Mr. Albert offered up, they've begun large-scale operations. To clean up the rest of the ring, which I'm happy to leave to Francisca and Agent Lang. So what are your plans now, okay? Oh, well, we've taken care of the creep who killed my father, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I know. Maybe I'll just keep on being Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. You're still trying to steal my job, pal. Just kidding, just kidding. I can't steal something so important to you, Gummy. Whew, what a relief. Okay. Yep. Even after all that's happened, are you still planning to become a great thief? Of course. But I don't want to tarnish the legend of the noble Yatagarasu. So I'm going to hold off on doing anything until I make a tight 3-person team of my own. A 3-person team... A 3-person team of young beauties the same age as me, if possible. With those criteria, I highly doubt you'll find the 2 other people you need. My father chose to fight for the truth. I think that's what was so noble about him. So you see, Miss Edgeworth? The only things I will ever steal are the truths that have been hidden away. I'm going to work extra hard to make a world where the Yatagarasu isn't needed. Let's both strive for such a future. Well, I guess it's time for me to get going. I see. Okay, keep your chin up and stay strong, okay? And don't be a stranger. Don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be sure to break the lock on the window and sneak in. If you could, I'd appreciate it if you came in through the building's front door. It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. The look on my window at home has been broken for forever. Oh, one last thing before I go. Let's take a group picture, just the three of us. Yeah, a commemorative photo. Every big case has to end with one. No. Hey, why not? Don't tell me you're camera shy, Miss Edgeworth. Of course I'm not, Detective. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm taking the picture now. Hey, come back here. Miss Edgeworth, you can't run away from this, sir. Nah. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Stop that. I can't be seen doing that. Okay, I'm totally taking it now. Say cheese. Oh, what's it going to look like in it? And thus, the long tale of the KG incident came to a close. It saw the demise of a smuggling ring and the birth of a little great thief. But there is little time to rest and relax, for I am eager to tackle the investigation into a new case. The reason for my eagerness is my want to pursue the truth, and my want to believe in the strength of those who use the power of the law for good. As someone who has chosen to live my life as a prosecutor, that is my new creed. Nah, she's grabbing his thing again. And there we go. Finished! My God, we did it. We did all of the cases. Heard about Visitor, Airlines, Kidnapped, Reminiscence, and ABLAZE. We did them all. So that was Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth done. And I will be doing the next game, which the fan base and the fan translation, they call it Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth Prosecutor's Path. I think. Yeah. Prosecutor's Path? Yeah, pretty sure it's that. So I'll be doing that, and we'll see what happens there, and hopefully there'll be no bugs with it, because it is a fan translation. You have to like mod the original Japanese file and stuff like that, so, but there we go, another Ace Attorney game done in good quality, in a consistent quality, with this layout of OBS. And I did apologise as well, that's finished, so if you haven't checked that out, you can go check that out. I've also started the Xbox One version of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, so I've just finished the second case on that, so as of recording this, so go check that out as well if you're interested. And pretty soon, I think I'm also going to start the Professor Layton games again. I do have a playthrough of the up currently, but it's really bad quality, so eventually I'll delete that and start re-recording it in good quality. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, next time, Prosecutor's Path, and also go check out Phoenix Wright Trilogy if you're interested. So, thank you for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you decide to subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing, and ding that bell to be the first to hear about my new videos. Thanks again, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.